and then you can I will combine it and you can then see it. So I hope my screen is still visible to all. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what I was saying is that all the dimensions of this are based on the diameter of the rod. Please be careful what terminology I am using. I am not using the terminology as shaft, but diameter of the rod. And rod will only transmit tensile oblique compressive forces, not torque, no rotation. Nothing is possible with this. So you may be wondering why it is not possible to transmit rotational. So what can happen if I rotate this at very high speed? If this is rotating, so there may be a moment when this quarter it can come out. Although we have locked it, but in the influence of high speed rotation, the centrifugal force will it will, because of mass of this spigot, sorry, mass of this quarter, it may come out, and that may cause the joint to open up, and that may lead to some catastrophe, or you can say some damage, some accident may be there. So that is why it is only suitable for pull or push type of you can do that. Rotation is not possible with any of the quarter joint, because locking is with the quarter, so it is not possible to uh, have rotation with this type of joints. So again, just coming back to the machine drawing part. So this is an assembly drawing in which all the dimensions will be calculated based on the diameter of the rod. And again, you will be drawing the isometric view, projecting it for this sectional view and the side view. And dimensions, all these dimensions, I mean, if you are given the exercise or the question is to draw the quarter joint with socket and spigot ends. So what you have to project, all these dimensions should be projected. So if the diameter given is 40 millimeters, so I should see here the extension of this spigot. This should be mentioned as 20 because it is 0.5d. Similarly, I will see that all other dimensions are mentioned in the proportion as standardized here in this machine drawing. So if dimensions are missing in your final PDF, if it is assignment or it is exam, so there is a likelihood that marks may be lost because the dimensions are cannot be confirmed. So some the dimension marks may be lost even if you have drawn correctly, but it is not showing in your drawing. So please consider this aspect very seriously, that all the dimensions, they should be properly visible in the drawing. If dimensions are not visible, it cannot be confirmed, so dimension marks will be lost. Next is the gib and quarter joint. This is again in this case we are again still using that humble quarter here, but in this case we also have its friend, that is the gib. Now what is the difference in this joint? So this joint can uh, hold up square rods. So it may not be necessary that every time the rod has to be circular. There can be an instance where the rod, it can be other than circular, especially squarish rod. So in this case, what we do is, it is also like somewhat like the spigot and this socket joint, but it is with the square rod. So we have this gib here and the quarter. So this combination of this gib and quarter, so gib will come here, okay, and the quarter will be coming at the back of it. I will show another view of it. So this again is again suitable only for the tensile or compressive forces, not suitable for rotation. So in this joint, this is specially useful for connecting square or rectangular cross section, not the circular one. So what is a gib? Gib, it is a wedge shaped piece with a rectangular cross section. So this is it, gib, how the gib looks like and how the quarter is there. Now if you see this arrangement here, so this is the rod 1, this is rod 2. Again, the ends of the, especially rod 2, they are modified to accommodate the rod 1, okay. And there are these slots cut here, okay, to accommodate the quarter. and the gib. Now, what happens here whenever there is this tensile load coming over? So this gib is important here to lock the quarter here. If we don't make the don't use the gib here, so what happens, even the slot may be small, but the proper gripping of this rectangular or this square surface cannot be done alone with quarter. So gib has this c type of a shape, slightly this type of shape. If you go back to the slide, it has this c type of shape. So this c type of shape holds or enables it to hold up on the surface. So maybe the slot is only up to here, but this extended surface of the gib will be holding it over here. And this quarter and gib, they will have a significant amount of friction in between them, which is of course locked with the tapering of the quarter, and this will help to keep the gib and quarter in its place. So what is important here to understand that gib and quarter joint is only suitable for square or rectangular cross section, not for the circular ones. So this joint is also again based on the dimension of the rod. So in this case, it will not be exactly the diameter, but it will be the side of the rod. So where the side of the rod here is mentioned by D, and what you see here as the a small square, this indicates the rod is of square cross section. So in the cross section, that is why you are able to see this type of a it is square or it is rectangular, so you can see this type of projection in the side view. So this one is the sectional view, okay, and this is the side view. All the dimensions again, they are empirical, so based on this you will be provided the question as to draw a gib and quarter joint. Draw the sectional and side view of the gib and quarter joint for connecting a square rod of side say 20 millimeters. So this 20 millimeters, based on that you will be calculating all other dimensions, okay, as per this standard drawing. Next is the pin joint. So pin joint is again a very important joint from the aspect of engineering applications. So this type of joint can also accommodate say slight movement of the shaft. So this shaft, they can just turn off. I will show you the actual model also. I have a wooden model again. So this is, but however I lost the other part. So what you will see here, this is the pin here. We call it as the knuckle pin, as shown here. So this is what it is, the knuckle pin here. And below, what is there? Used to be a collar, which is of course again missing in this case. So these are, and then there is a taper pin. So this is that taper pin here. The other end of the rod, it will come in between. And you can understand, if the rods are even not aligned, there is a small angular displacement also. Even in that scenario also, this type of joint can hold in its place. So this angular variation if there is an angular variation in this type of joint, so that could not be accommodated with other type of quarter joints, as the joints we had discussed in the previous, like the sleeve joint and all. So the angular variation between the two rods, that could not be accommodated in that case. But here the angular variation, okay, small, not very large, but angular movement between the rod can be accommodated. So this can be done, which was not the capability in the previous. So this is also an assembly here. So where you have the fork end. So this is what I had with me. This is the fork end, which is the happening this type of the uh, two ends. Okay. So then I have this knuckle pin. So I have this knuckle pin with me, and the knuckle pin has a hole below where you will be locking this with this taper pin. Of course, there is in between the collar, which I don't have currently to show you, but of course there will be a collar as shown here. So this is the collar here. Okay, this is the taper pin, and of course this is the knuckle pin. Again, this is rod 2, rod 1, and slight angular variation is possible. So one rod will have the fork end, the other will have the eye end. So these are technical terms. So if you remember, we had read about the eye bolt. Okay, so this similar type of eye or the slot is present through which this uh, you will see here, through this I can pass the knuckle pin. Okay, and then with the, of course, a collar will come and I can lock this with this taper pin. So now slight angular variations are possible in this type of knuckle joint. So this is sometimes known as the knuckle joint, or it is also known as the pin joint. So why the pin? Because the knuckle word and the pin word, either they are used together or sometimes only pin or knuckle, but it means the same thing. So it permits movement along the axis. Okay, that we are, and loading is purely tensile. So this is only tensile loads, not compressive. Again, you can understand if this type of thing rotates, there is a possibility that things may this may not stay, and it may open up. And this has more flexible the approach, or it is more flexible in adjustment compared to the previous quarter joint. So no quarter is there, but we have a pin in this case. So this is the actual photograph of this pin knuckle pin joint. So you have you see this and this one. So this becomes the fork end. Okay, and here this is the eye end, and in between, of course, the pin is there. But yeah, since it is a quite heavily loaded, this is the photograph from Wikipedia, I took it. So if it is quite heavily loaded, so you would need to separate arrangement to lock it up. And you can see the extent of this pin joint. So this is a standard ballpoint pen. Okay, this ball pen. So you can see how big these joints they can get. And of course they are suitable because here the piston rod or the connecting rod, so this is the connecting rod here. Okay, so connecting rod is just under the reciprocating motion, so no rotation is there. So this connecting rod, when connected to the wheel, so then that motion gets converted into rotational motion. So various dimensions of this pin joint are mentioned here. And again, all the dimensions they come based on the diameter of the rod. D is the diameter of the rod. Another important aspect in this is that the surface here, it is in the actual one, it is octagonal. So this is octagonal surface. Means it's eight sides are there, or eight faces are there, not sides. Eight faces are there. So this octagonal thing is there on both the ends. That is the fork end as well as the eye end. And correspondingly you can see that various parts they are hatched to show the cross section of two different rods, and of course other lines are present. So what is important here, that you clearly mention the dimension whatever you have done the calculation. That is the main thing, will be the main thing in assignments. If you have not done in the submitted assignment, please make sure in the assignment that you will be submitting now, dimensions are clearly marked as per requirement. So this is all based on the joints, keys, quarter joint, etc. We can have now some questions from you based on this today's class.